Control, that's what we're talking about today. So what do you actually have control over? Probably not much. No, that's not true. You actually have quite a bit. So control is a natural knee-jerk reaction when we're in times of stress or anxiety. You may have noticed it in yourself, maybe, or others. I know you notice it there. But trying to control situations and people around us it's a natural reaction when we feel out of control inside or somewhere in our lives. So unfortunately, controlling these things outside of us is just impossible. If you've tried it, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're trying it right now. It's impossible. You can't do it. So you just end up with more stress and more anxiety. Meanwhile, our attention, or your attention, we're talking to you, gets more diverted away from the actual root cause of what caused you to feel the stress and anxiety, which stimulated the need for control. Can you see how it's kind of this horrible merry-go-round of misery, honestly? Yeah.
It can go on for a long time.
Yes. The farther away you get from the actual problem by focusing on little things you're trying to control, the less likely you'll be able to identify that problem and actually deal with it. And this can go on for days, months, years.
Lifetime.
Lifetime.
Careful.
Yeah, if you don't catch it, right? So today we're going to give you a few steps you can take to help identify what you can control and how you do it so you can actually claim your power back and reduce your stress.
That's what we're all about.
Yes.
This is Tara and Roxanne, and we are here to help you calm your mind so you can enjoy your life. We also have for you our free gift to you is 5 proven ways to reduce your stress. You will find the link in the description down below. Really wonderful things. Do that for yourself and get started on it because it really will change things.
Absolutely.
Do it today.
Yeah.
So, what do we have control over, Roxanne?
So, what do you think you have control over? We're going to go over our list. So, you have control over your behavior, believe it or not. You have control over your reactions.
Yes.
You have control over your actions, what you're exposed to, the things that you're around, the things that you input, how you interpret things, believe it or not. We have an automatic interpreter based on our experiences and our beliefs, but we really do have control over that. How you process things, if you choose to process them at all. You could just stuff them down with maybe some cake.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's a thing. You have control over your stress level. And if you haven't noticed the theme here, you have control over all of your choices. And
your control.
All of them. And which is crazy when we realize exactly how many choices we have. It's simultaneously.
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 It's okay, we got there.
Freeing and terrifying. It was for me anyway, when you realize that everything is my choice, everything that is about me is my doing. That's terrifying, but
empowering at the same time.
Yeah, you just got to choose how you want to look at it.
So what don't we have control over? That appears to me to be a big list.
It is, and it's unfortunately has another theme, and it's anybody else. So other people's behavior, their reactions, how they feel about you, how they react to you, their feelings, ultimately how they feel about something else, and world events, different. You have no control over these, and that's where the big anxiety comes. That's where, like chronic anxiety comes from, and disorders and things. There's so many moving parts around you, be it situational or actually personal with people, and we have no power over them, and it just gets overwhelming and consuming.
So, wow, that is a big list. That's a big world out there.
Have you ever caught yourself in that?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Sure
me too.
thing.
Me too.
We're human.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
So what is the solution here? Do you have a solution for us?
Well, there's a few things that if you catch yourself, maybe you are a controlling person, or maybe you don't think so, but you've been told you are. That's usually how it starts. Somebody's like, you're so controlling. And sometimes they're just trying to manipulate you so you can do whatever they want. But a lot of times there's a thread of truth to it. That's how it came out, right?
Right.
So, if you find yourself very anxious when things aren't getting done a certain way, and you know, I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, I think that encapsulates it right
That
there.
does.
There are a few questions you can sit down and ask yourself. And if you really want some peace, you're going to do this. And you're going to maybe not like all the answers, but you're going to find value in each one of them, I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
So ask yourself when something happens, say anything. It could be that the house is a mess when you came home and you have a particular way you like it done, or it could. That's her. Or you could have driving, or it could be something big like an illness of a loved one or something a little more significant. Ask yourself always, what are my choices in this situation? And watch out for buzzwords like should. Someone else should. Someone else should take care of this. They shouldn't. Should and shouldn't.
Got it.
You end up shitting all over yourself.
Wow.
You don't want to do that. And if you find yourself saying things like that, somebody should or shouldn't do, just no problem. Stop, come back and say, what are my choices in this situation? And that's very empowering.
It is.
It is. And it switches the way that your brain's processing what's going on. So, and how do I feel about this? So often we react to the situation itself.
Mm-hmm.
And we bring in our feelings and emotions come in, and we bring in our past and our history, and we want to get angry, but we're not stopping to think that we're just hurt,
right?
Or we feel frustrated or powerless, especially when it comes to a loved one being injured in some way or sick, or so something big like that. But even like driving, or it could even be the house cleaning. If you live with others and they're not doing it, you feel powerless to make them, so you got to say, wait, just a second, check in and say, how do I feel about this? What is this making me feel? Because a feeling you can process, you can work through, and you can help redefine, and you can attend to your own feelings, and you can take care of yourself, you can soothe yourself, you can empower yourself, all these things. But if you're not even acknowledging that feeling is happening, you're just going to keep reacting because of it.
Keep pushing it away and yet carrying it with you.
Yeah. So get real and get honest with yourself for a second. Step back and go, how is this making me feel? And it doesn't make you weak or anything else when you feel slighted. If nothing else, it just makes you give more attention to that part of yourself instead of expecting others to do it, which is a wonderful thing. And what do I really want from this situation? How do I want this to play out? Because that is going to determine how you address the situation or react to it. So would I like to have a big hairy fight and get all my frustrations out on this person and maybe a little character assassination?
Wow.
And all those things, and then at the end of the day I still don't get what I want, because this will repeat itself. I just got to verbally vomit all over someone, so I feel better in the moment. Of course later then I'll feel guilty, right? So stop and go, what do I want? Do I want to be heard? Do I want to express how I feel now that I know what it is? Do I want to express what I need and have a conversation about that? Or do I just want to explode and then nothing changes and I kind of got built up, explode, because it's going to build up again. Right. So you really got to figure out, what do I want from this situation? And then you'll get steps that just come to you.
And stick to the facts of the situation. Yes. Don't let the drama or the story, the pity party, any of that stuff kick in. Just stick to the facts. Be very, very logical in looking at it.
Yes.
Yes.
1,000%. So, like we were using the house cleaning thing for her, it's the shoes are left out and the dishes aren't put away. It's not. They just disregard. They think I'm the maid, and this always happens, and I do everything. They don't do. It can go on a big thing, right? And the fact is, the shoes are there, the dishes are there. Now what? Right.
Solution.
Yeah, exactly. So, what action steps can you take? That is the super empowering question. Once you know, what you're feeling around this, and I hate to keep coming back to that. Well, not really. Apparently, I don't hate it because I do it.
It's a good thing.
Right. But it is super important, because usually the act itself, whatever's happening, is not the real problem. It's the emotions causing within you that you react to, honestly. So, And that's what causes the stress, right? We get stress from
Absolutely.
emotion. That's where stress comes from. So
Absolutely.
what can you do? Sometimes there's nothing you can do to change the situation, but what you can do is process your feelings about it. You can process your emotions. You can sit and go, okay, I feel disrespected, or I feel taken advantage of. And even if those aren't true, you're not being taken advantage of. Somebody else was just in a hurry, and they, they didn't do it to you, they did it for them, if that makes any
Right,
sense.
right.
Yeah. But if the feeling that came up for you, so stop and think and go, okay, am I taken advantage of, and am I opening myself up to be someone that gets taken advantage of? Am I honoring myself? And then, or maybe not. And so if I'm not, maybe, of course they're not. So it gives you time to go and go, how do I feel about that? I feel that in my body. You can actually close your eyes if you're really angry or fearful or frustrated. You can close your eyes. You can feel it. Where is that in my body? And
you can.
yeah, and so you can say, okay, is that real? Is this real? Maybe not. Right? If you're honest with yourself, maybe not. Maybe I'm not being disrespected or taken advantage of. Or maybe I am, and I've set up this way where nobody has to do anything, and then I do it and then use it. So maybe I can take some action steps there. So it might be that simple. Or if it's a world event or something major at your job or big in your family or something, or maybe it is that your parent or a loved one is sick and maybe in a rehab facility or something, and something bad is happening, there are action steps you can take to correct it. And I guarantee you, calling everybody you know and getting on social media and complaining about it and screaming about the injustice will not fix it. It won't. But there are steps you can take, and that is so more empowering. You feel, I don't know, like, how do I?
It's a you power. It is empowering,
Yeah.
and it is. I'm sure once then you have that clarity, it kind of releases the hold it has on you.
Yes.
Which that's really the crux of the problem is something's got a hold on you, and
Yes.
it's not a healthy hold. We need to let it go.
And trying to control other things it doesn't work. Just to recap what we talked about in the beginning, and I'm sure that you've experienced that and seen that in your own lives. You're just going to make yourself more frustrated because they won't be controlled. They won't.
Right.
Just like you will not allow them to control you.
Right.
Think about that. If you had internal control, which you're getting because you guys are doing an awesome job, you wouldn't need to control others. Well, if you can't control you, you're really not going to control somebody else.
Right.
Right.
True.
So, anyway,
Very
we would
true.
love for you to go through the steps. We're going to say them again. I'm just going to recap really quickly in case you want to jot them down and use them moving forward. Is what are my choices in this situation? Sometimes there are a lot of choices, sometimes only a few, but you always have choices. And it could be a reaction, could be an action, could be something you could say. You always have choices. So keep that in mind. 2, how do I feel about this? What is my feeling that it was just generated from that? Whether you're comfortable with that or not, comfort is not our concern right now. You're going to step out of your comfort zone a little bit so you can get to a better place. So go ahead and do that one. 2, how do I want this to play out? What do I want the end result to be? Do I want short-term satisfaction of just being able to vent and verbally vomit on everybody? Or do I want real change? Because your approach is going to be miles apart depending on what the answer is to that question. And what action steps am I going to take? Make that commitment, figure out what they are, commit to doing it, and do it. You will feel so much internal power, you don't have to try to exercise power over others. So, and that whole list that we went through in the beginning of things you do have control over, use those, write those down, acknowledge it. Embrace it when it happens. You do have choices on what you're exposed to. You do have choices on how you react. You can't say, well, I mean, you can. That's another buzzword.
Don't you?
But saying, well, she did X, Y, Z, and that's why I did that. That's great. Good for you. But you still have the internal anxiety and the frustration and the stress that comes with that. So no more of that. We're not doing that anymore. You have all the choices. So exercise, use those, be empowered. You are strong, powerful people who can direct your lives in any way you want to do it. And so why not? why not try to give it a shot?
Absolutely. And feel free to leave us any feedback, any questions, anything in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget that freebie from us, the 5 proven ways to reduce your stress. It's down there too. Enjoy that.
And we will respond.
We will respond.
Yeah. If you want a specific response, just leave a specific name and we'll make sure to do it, I promise.
And
otherwise, that's probably you responding.
Okay, that works.
So,
and this is Tara and Roxanne. We are here to help you calm your mind so you can enjoy your life.
thank you.
Be well.